What's going on, NEM crew? Welcome back to another Shop Talk video. Today we're talking about differentials, specifically LSD conversions or swaps. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, so you're thinking about doing a LSD swap or conversion on your car. I'm just going to go over a few things that I've run into or I've looked at while going about trying to figure out exactly the best way for me to get this done on the Datsun. So if you guys are new to the channel, I'm doing some big work on the Datsun here. It's a 280Z 1978 and I'm doing a LSD or limited slip differential conversion. So we're just going to go ahead and talk about a few things that I've run into and a few things that might be helpful if you're kind of going through the same thing on your car. Just to note, every car is different. The way I've gone about it on my car may not work for your car, and the same thing goes if you have the same car, your build goals might be different than mine, so this may not be the best route for you to take. That'll be your judgment, but let's get right into it. There's probably two main things that you can do to do this conversion. This is the stock diff, this is the diff that's going in the car. As you can see, they're pretty different in size, length, everything. Let's talk about the stock diff. So you could technically buy a stock diff with the limited slip differential internals and unbolt this diff, bolt the new one in, and you'd be good to go. Attach everything, put everything back together, and you have your limited slip differential. Going about it the same way, you could technically take this diff out, disassemble the diff internals, and put diff internals that are like limited slip differential internals. Then bolt it back up. There you go, you have your limited slip. Now, going about it this way, I was looking at buying the whole case with the diff or just the internals, and it ranged from $1,000 to, I would say, $1,600 to $1,800. So let's just say $1,000 to $2,000 to go this route. Now, option number two. Now, let's go back to option number one. This option is going to be a lot easier. There's not going to be a lot of fabrication. The diff is meant to go in this car, so it's going to be very easy. Drop the diff, you'll bolt it back up. You won't have to do any crazy welding, fabrication, anything like that. Let's move to option number two, where you find a diff from another car and you try and make it fit. Now, this is a great option if there's a company or if there's someone who has done this before and is selling brackets, custom fabricated brackets that will allow you to do this. Now in this case, Techno Toy Tuning does, and that's the majority of the parts that I'm putting on this car is from Techno Toy Tuning, but they offer a rear end conversion kit, which they have a bunch of different differential options. You get to choose depending on what you can find in your area, and then they send you the correct bracketry and everything. Now, in this case though, if you don't have that option, it's going to be a lot more headaches and a lot more time that you have to put in to actually fabricate those brackets yourself to make sure it'll even work. Now, even with the brackets from Techno Toy Tuning, you still have to do some fabrication in the sense where this diff is a lot taller than this diff. The size in general is pretty different in all aspects. So the height actually hits on the frame of the car. So I had to notch out a little piece, nothing too big, but a little piece of the frame to allow this to fit. So it's been a lot of test fitting. You gotta take the diff down, put the diff back up. It's probably gonna be better with 2 or 3 people. I did it with 2 people. So now I know this diff will fit, but just note that there is a little bit more of a process doing it this way. But I wanna mention though, looking at these two options, you might think, well, this is going to be the best and easiest option for me. Like, everything's going to bolt up. You're not going to have to worry about anything. Another thing is drive shaft. You can put this diff back in, your drive shaft will fit, no problem. You won't have to worry about it. This diff being shorter, I won't have that luxury. Plus, the mounting spot or the way that the diff actually, or the drive shaft bolts up to the diff is different on this. So a custom drive shaft is going to be required doing this setup. So that's just another thing to think about, which is more money, more time that your car is going to be off the road. So those are just some things to think about. Now that I'm saying this, you're probably thinking, this is the best route, Nick. You're stupid. Why didn't you just go with this route? I went with this route because it depends on where you want to go with your build. If I wanted to keep the car completely stock and not do anything, not have major changes to the car, I would go with this route here. But I knew I wanted to do a rear disc conversion. I didn't want the half shaft axles that this system uses with the U-joints. Now technically there are conversions that you can buy to mount up to the stock diff, but with the rear end conversion kit that I found from Techno Toy Tuning, they allow you to put this diff in here. They allow you to put CV shaft axles that come on the Nissan 300 ZX twin turbo, as well as the rear brakes. So for me, it kind of hit everything all in one. It's like, yes, this kit is a little bit more expensive, but I can get everything that I want by doing it this way. And all I would have to do is just buy the rear subframe off of the Nissan 300 ZX twin turbo, which I did, and I got a really good price. I actually spent $1,400 shipped and everything for front and rear subframe, so I can sell all the components off of the front, some components off of the rear to make some money back. And I have an LSD, I have a rear disc conversion, and I have CV axles. So for me, it was just an easier way to kind of hit everything that I wanted to do. And yes, it probably is a little bit more of an investment up front, but going this route, you know, you might be $1,000 in for the diff, $1,000 in for the rear disc conversion, maybe another $500 to get the axles to fit. So, I mean, when you think about it at the end of the day, if it's going to be an extra, say, $500 to $1,000 to go this route, for me, it was an easy decision just because of the way that I want to go with my build. So ultimately, those are the two main options. You might be able to find simpler conversions for your car, because depending on your build, it will be completely different. But that's ultimately just the balancing act of how far you want to go with your build, what your goal, your end goal is, and just see what fits best for you. I'm not going to go and tell you this is the best way to go. You can do whatever you want. Just make sure that at the end of the day, that's what you want. I don't want to tell you, I don't know what you want. So I'm just telling you, these are the two main options. There might be some other things along the way and other options that I'm not aware about, but to me, these are the two options that I'm most familiar with when doing a LSD swap. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you guys have any questions or any input you guys want to put in the comments, that'd be much appreciated, because I love learning. This is the whole point of me doing this work. I don't have any education and training to do this stuff, so it's just me learning every step of the way. Anything I learn, I try and bring to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out and stay classy, crew.